Day 18 of 80 of getting in shape for my big photo shoot. I was just swimming, and normally when I'm swimming, I kind of just zone out and pretty much think about breathing and getting from one end of the pool to the other. That did not happen today. Today, instead of my pseudo meditation happening, my brain decided it was the perfect opportunity to write a fantasy novel. So, here's my pitch. So, the book starts with a very, very bored god. And the god decides to alleviate the monotony to randomly pick a farmer and send them on an epic quest just to see what happens. So, a farm boy is picked out, because you obviously cannot have a fantasy book without the classic farm boy to hero trope. And the god begins to bless the boy. So as this holy light is coming down to bless this boy, to send him on his epic quest, his rooster comes out of freaking nowhere, scares the crap out of the kid, and pushes him over. Of course, the holy light is still coming down, and the rooster ends up getting blessed instead of the boy. So, now of course the rooster has been blessed by a god, so is now intelligent and can speak. But, of course, it's still a rooster, so it's a moron. Though the god finds this to be absolutely hilarious. So, instead of fixing the problem, he just sends the rooster on the epic quest instead of the kid. But as I said, the rooster is not exactly intelligent, so he forces the boy to go along with him. All right, we have our main characters established. Next, we need our quest. Our quest is to go defeat this ancient lich that has been terrorizing the kingdom for hundreds of years. But it turns out, in the end, that the god was in fact the one who created the lich last time it got bored, but had just completely forgotten about it until now. So, we have our main characters, we have our plot line. Now we need the side characters, which I think might be almost the most important part of the whole story, to be honest. So, first off, the chicken and the boy, they meet a dwarf berserker who obviously has a Scottish accent. Now, he's a berserker, but he's convinced that he is going to be the next master thief, even though he has a very, very strong propensity to break things. Next, we have a traveling chef, and then this guy in my head has a French accent, and he is completely unimpressed with anything that does not have to do with cooking. And finally, we have a healer. Now, the healer is a middle-aged empty nester mom who, now that the kids are out of the house, needs something to do. She also happens to have a devil familiar named Paul, and she treats Paul like an overworked personal assistant. By the way, this healer slash loving mother also just happens to have a very nasally Long Island accent. Okay, that's all I've come up with so far. But I think I'm onto something. But I thought I'd see what you guys think. Think, something. So let me know in the comments if you think I have the next New York Times bestseller, or it's time for me to up my ADD medication dosage. I'm not quite sure. Other than that, be sure to check out tomorrow, day 19. I got one more day until it's my next weigh-in, so we'll have to do something interesting. Wish me luck. All right. I know it's a long video, but you stuck with me this far, so just hold on a little bit longer, because now I'm going to do all the voices for the characters, or what I imagine they sound like in my head. All right, first off, we have our rooster, who I have named Sir Cluckles von Eggenstein. And as I said, he's not very smart, but also full of himself. And here he is. I dare say, how dare you refer to me as a chicken, sir? I am Sir Cluckles von Eggenstein.
and I shan't be referred to in such a manner.
Next up, we have our farm boy. Now, the farm boys in most fantasy stories just randomly seem to have really cool sounding names, and I don't find that to be very realistic. So, my farm boy is going to be called Doogie Butterball. It was actually supposed to be Doug, but his parents can't write very well, so as they were filling out his birth certificate, they misspelled the name, and hence Doogie. But Doogie is a farm boy with a heart of gold, and he just wants to do the best he can. And he is always apologizing for the rooster. I apologize for the rooster, ma'am. He's an asshole, but he means well. Next, we have our dwarf. Now, our dwarf's name is Bash McKilly, and even though he's a berserker, he is convinced he's going to be a grandmaster thief one day.
Right, stand back and I'll show you my ultimate stealth move. I call it Twinkle Toes.
Bash performs the spell called Twinkle Toes and proceeds to break into a house and unintentionally break every single pane of glass that is in that house before leaving.
Did you see me? Oh, no, you didn't, because I am a master thief. You're welcome.
Next, we have our chef. I've named him Pierre. Nothing else, just Pierre. And as I said, he's very unamused with pretty much anything. He just smokes cigarettes and cooks stuff all day. So here he is.
Oh, so the man can swing a sword. Whoop-de-doo. I can do the same thing with a frying pan. And I can make a souffle.
Next, we have our healer. I've named her Helen. And of course, her familiar Paul. Now, as I stated before, Helen has a Long Island accent. Here we go. Paulie, can you get me a coffee? I'm dying for a coffee, Paul.
Madam, we don't have any coffee. You drank all the coffee last week.
Paul, don't give me an attitude. If you're going to do that, I'm not going to make you dinner tonight.
Madam, I'm a 5,000-year-old demon. I don't require you to make me dinner.
Oh, snippy are we? Well, if you're going to have an attitude like that, you're not going to get any dessert neither. Now, Paul is absolutely devastated by this bit of news, though he will never admit it, because Paul is actually addicted to sweets. To be more precise, he loves chocolate chip cookies. All right, that's it. I swear, I'm done. If you stuck with me this long, I am impressed. You are a trooper. Gold star for you. I promise tomorrow's video will be a little more contained. So, see you tomorrow for the next installment of getting in shape for my big photo shoot. Thank you.